Your child may not be. If you had a child with you there, I know you take your grandchild to your house and stuff. Be careful. But you, this is all public information. I encourage you, if this is something that bothers you and consumes your time, maybe that'll help to find out what this person did. And maybe if you find out that they molested their, little niece or their own child or something like that, it's not so much violent, things like this. They don't have past, because you can look them up and you can see what other past crimes they've done. Typically, usually that's it, just that. I don't know if that makes you feel better, Rory. Just realize that this person's being watched all the time. You keep notes and watch them. I mean, really, there's no real reason to act much different, except you're not going to try to be neighborly to them, right? You're not going to go, give them a welcoming home, a welcome, or welcome to the neighborhood, play the cookies, and you're not really going to try to converse with them or talk to them. It's never happened to me. I don't know how I would handle it. If I had children, I wouldn't stay there. Period. For all of you out there, you have a sexual offender next door to you, you have children, I'd leave. Leave. Just get out of there. Why even think about it? Why even worry about it, right? You let your kids go out and play in the backyard, in the front yard. Just leave. Some things you don't have much control over, and that's all you can do. And you can also, I'm sure there's things you can do to be more active, Rory. You can petition and protest and things like this. Sexual offenders can't assimilate. Period. Sexual offenders aren't going to get better. They're not going to change. They're not going to be somebody else. And somebody who can't control their behaviors like that, I don't really trust that they will in the future. Sorry, Rory. Jennifer from United Kingdom. Hi, Jennifer. Could you say a few words on learning to love your body? What would help? What would help us to connect? Well, it's about acceptance, isn't it? Right? Having problems connecting with our bodies and things like this, it's just all acceptance. So we be very mindful of the things that we're doing, Jennifer. Look what's out there in advertising. That's not good for us. The worst thing is comparing ourselves to other people. And when you see this in advertising, it's telling you this is what everybody likes. Not even what you should do. This is what everybody else likes. This is what everybody else values. This is how everybody else looks or is trying to. Why aren't you? And we can't achieve it. We can't achieve perfection. Everything fades. Everything gets old. Everything just, right? And so we got to try to stop doing that. I don't like commercials, period. I don't have commercials in my life, period. I don't have cable. I don't watch, I pay to not have commercials on YouTube. I don't have commercialism in my life. And it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. Not only do I not have to sit and worry about what kind of cancer I have all day or what kind of drugs I need all day, but I also am not comparing myself to others. And the one thing we need to understand, Jennifer, is how unique we all are, Jennifer. We are all so unique. And the problem with these kinds of things is saying we're all trying to be the same. Right? And so when we see and appreciate others' uniqueness and see how different everyone is, not the same, but different, and we can accept that we're different, and then maybe we can start to see the things that are unique about us and the things that are good and positive, because otherwise we're focusing on the bad and the negative, aren't we? And just try to accept that everybody has that. It doesn't matter. We either, and you can be specific. I'm overweight, underweight. I don't like the color of my skin, the tone. I don't like my hair. I'm losing my hair. I have too much hair. I'm thick hair. Just realize that we're all like this. All of us. Okay? And you may be battling with your weight and somebody's battling with their hair. Okay? And all of it comes down to how we feel about ourselves, Jennifer. And you can walk up to the most beautiful person in the world, and if they think they're ugly, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Nothing. Nothing. You can have 1 million people sit there and tell them how beautiful they are, and they might make them feel better until it stops. Once the last person said it, they're done. They're right back to who they are, and that's all that matters, how we feel about ourselves. And so start to appreciate what's unique about you. What's unique about you? What is unique? What are your qualities? What are you good at? Not better than anybody else. What are you good at? Good with your hands? How so? Make things, create things, fix things, paint things, draw things. What are you good at? Instead of what are you bad at? Okay? Meditation is huge. Meditation, talking, finding new, changing social groups tends to help. Listing things that are good for you and telling yourself something good every day. Force it. Force it. You have somebody sit there and tell you something bad about yourself every day, it's going to stick. It's going to stick. And you can do that with positive affirmations. Okay? Celebrate your body. Dress it up. Yeah? Go get a new outfit. One way we feel better in crowds is being a little overdressed. Yeah? Start being excited about an item of clothing you put on your body and how bright it is and how pretty it is instead of how it fits. Okay? Yeah, I'm also going to answer questions about the ego in a little bit here that might help. Heather from Michigan. Hi, Heather. I will go back and look at all older videos, but for the sake of my question, can you please talk about the ego? Okay, so Heather asked me about the ego last couple weeks, and I talked about it, told you some things I know, and I'm not sure why you want to learn so much about the ego. Last week I suggested that you may be talking about the self, and said, no, I want to know more about the ego. Okay, you said people took your identity and they're acting like you and stuff like this. Those are people that have no stable sense of self. It's not really the ego. If I buy into my ego, I'm less about myself. I'm going to read to you because this is Freud's model. Okay, the id, the ego, the superego. According to Freud's model of the psyche, the self, the id is the primitive and instinctual part of the mind that contains sexual and aggressive drives and hidden memories. The superego operates as a moral conscious, and the ego is the realistic part that mediates between the desires of the id and the superego. I think of it like Christianity. We're all born sinners, right? We all have this animalistic urges to gluttony, right? To just, be selfish and feed myself too much. I think about sex more and more and more, and then I might go do something I regret. That's not really who I am. I want to react violently, revenge and things like this. And that is the human. Right, that's the, and this is what I think. Make that clear. This is not my faith. I'm talking about someone else's faith. And here's the human that's born a sinner, the bad human, right? And then here's God, right? Who is the moral conscious, who is our, this is our moral compass. And we strive to be like this, but then we find ourselves like this, and then we feel guilty about this, and we feel good about doing this, okay? And here's our ego vacillating back and forth in between. Let's see, I think I got another one here. I want to read something else. So here's Freud's model of the psyche. Oh, here we go. What is the ego according to Freud? According to Sigmund Freud, the ego is the psychological component of the personality that is represented by our conscious decision-making process. Ego is more of the consciousness, what we're aware of, who we think we are, who we want to be. I hope that makes sense. Keep asking me questions. Study Freud's model if you want. A model from Freud is just a way of their understanding of their self. Okay? It doesn't mean it's right or true or there's not more facets. And people are just so multifaceted, guys. And the real lesson to learn is that it just takes so long to get to know someone. There are people on this planet that will never get to know themselves. They'll live 70 years, die, and never know who they were. So does anybody else know who they were? No. Not a doctor. Not their teacher, their parents, their children. It just takes so long to get to know someone. And it starts with us getting to know ourselves and start expressing ourselves in how we treat others, in our choices, and our decisions. And the more we are true to ourselves, the better it feels. We don't need a moral compass, guys. We don't need a book telling us what to do, what's good and bad and wrong and right. There isn't. There is no wrong or right. There is no good or bad. It's bullshit. There's only you and how you feel about the world. And when we care about other people, then we care about that part, about people, about others. Okay? Keep asking questions. Thank you. Lisa. Thank you, David. I always enjoy the questions and answers video. Thank you. I think it's a wonderful thing that you have dedicated yourself to helping others. I particularly like the way you say, it's how it made us feel that's important. I'm beginning to really understand that. And David, I really liked someone there for a while and thought I'd respond to his messages, but I soon discovered that most of his texts always involved innuendos that made me feel uncomfortable. It also brought back bad memories for me. I was really disappointed, but I have to be true to myself, and maybe it's still too early for me to become over-friendly with a guy. I could just see a pattern forming, and my gut instinct warned me. And good. I mean, you're starting to navigate, right, through at least how you feel, Lisa, and that's really important. And we go by the things that we need, and we go by the things that we value. And every single person's different. And so this guy, you know, I'm going to go by just what you're saying about your own awareness of the situation of this person. And let's just say this person's so different than you, Lisa. And so the innuendos he's saying, you know, I don't know what it was, but this is what he values, and this is what you don't value. Okay? And we can try to change them, or we can change ourselves. Or we can just say, we're different, this isn't going to work. Okay? And we can start by just communicating this. And so honesty is the greatest, even if it hurts somebody, right? Hey, some of the innuendos you've made to me make me feel very uncomfortable. I don't value those things that you're bringing up. Are these types of things you value? And someone like this probably won't be too honest and open or even aware of themselves, but if they are, they might be. Okay, they might say, yeah, it is what I value. You say, I get it, I don't, and have a good day. Because there's one thing we never compromise, and it's our values. Okay, we can compromise a lot of other things, but never what we value. And I'm guessing this is where two of you are very different. What each other value. Okay, so you could say, hey, I don't like that, don't do that, and he can try to not do it for a while, and then he'll do it again, maybe, and this can go on and on forever. Or you can just bring it up, talk about it, hash it out, and get to know right away. But good, Lisa. What's really important is that you're having good experiences. You're feeling good about the choices you make, I hope, and you're coming out of these experiences that are kind of negative, bad, and you're feeling good about yourself, and that's what's important. That supports the statement I made earlier. Nathan from North Carolina. Hi, Nathan. I've been watching you for a while now and commenting. My old account was called Nate Dogg Games. I remember Nate Dogg Games. I finally got away from my narcissistic mom after taking her abuse for years. One day last month, we got into it. She told me to leave. As she started to leave, she told you, you don't have to leave. You've been in an empty apartment on your computer, sitting on a box, watching my videos, even though you have nothing and you're so much happier away from her. You must get away from these people. Thanks, David, for all the support and love throughout the years. You're welcome. Thank you for telling me. She told me, okay, why does my mom keep trying to text me and say that they can help me? She told me to leave, so why do my parents keep texting and saying they can help me and acting like they care? You blocked them. I'm glad you feel better. I'm glad you feel better. That's what's really important, Nathan. So your mom is extremely codependent. Okay, and this is something that I grew up with as a child. I can't tell you how many times my dad kicked me out and said, no, I didn't kick you out, come back. Or go out there and look for me. Kind of crap, just to punish me, control me and shit. Awful thing to do to somebody. It's total abuse. Your mother's abusing you, big time. Doesn't matter how old you are. We don't do that to people. And that just shows you, I mean, no security. Massive emotional neglect. Besides, she's just straight abusing you. There's no emotional security. There's no emotional connection. There's no emotional privacy, no autonomy here. There's just disgusting. Your mom doesn't care. Your mom is completely unself-reliant, totally codependent, totally needs people to help her feel better. She needs you. She doesn't realize she has emotional needs and wants a relationship with people to have them met. No, she needs people. She can't do anything herself. So get out, come back, get out, come back, get out. It's just simply to control you, Nathan, so that you do what she wants, period. Period. And that's why leaving is a total threat to her addiction, her dependency. And that's why once you're gone, I'm going to, compromise everything and just beg you to come back type of crap. I'm sorry, Nathan. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the loss of your mother that you never had and you never will. I'm really sorry. Give yourself a lot of time, Nathan. Tell her I don't want to talk to you guys for a while. You're allowed to. And you can give it time. I don't want to talk to you for 3 months. I highly recommend it. You don't have to say goodbye forever. Just, I'm going to go work on me. And what she won't like that, because Nathan, a good boy, is everything mom wants you to do. And Nathan trying to find anything out in his own life, just wants something better in life for myself. You're selfish and wrong. How dare you? You know the root of your problems now. And it's helping you identify your problems so you can fix it now. Good luck. And good job. Salema from France. Hi, Salema. The narcissists know what they do, calling the black sheep a hypocrite. They make it sure the black sheep can never have a social life. What do you think about it? And again, mob mentality, very common that a mob has a black sheep, that they bully, they pick on somebody. And this is, I made a video about scapegoating, and it came from literally a village that has all these bad sins, and they tape all the sins onto the goat and exile the goat out the walls. You take all the bad things. Projection, right? So they feel bad about themselves and they have to blame you. They can't look at themselves. These are people that have massive shame. Massive. And I'm sorry, Salema. You're going to feel better as soon as you don't hear this or see this or smell this or feel this anymore. That's it. Okay? I'm really sorry. Emily Merton from South Africa. Hi, Emily. How do you explain what someone is doing when you feel what they're doing is hurting you, but you don't know exactly what it is they are doing or how to word it? Sometimes when I were in a group of people, I feel like they enjoy bonding while devaluing me, and then they would completely forget about it. Why do groups of people act so weird? What do you think? Because it's how they feel about themselves. How we treat others is how we feel about themselves. And we need to be self-aware of this. And as we have other groups of people, we become less self-aware and more group-aware. If you study secondary psychopaths, it'll help you understand this. I made videos about it. How do you tell them? Stop talking about what people do so much and start talking about how it feels. Listen, if I want someone to stop calling me, I'm trying to think of a name not so bad, stupid. Someone calls me stupid. So when I make a mistake at work, they say that's stupid. Every once in a while, it's almost every day, they might call me stupid once. And I say, hey, stop doing that. Stop saying stupid. Stop it. Oh, I don't say it that much. It's not that big of a deal, isn't it? Right? How about if I just say, hey, what you're doing is hurting me feelings. It's making me feel bad. Right? Anyone who cares, that's it. If I don't care and I'm going to not admit it and not take accountability and blame me on that, then it really doesn't matter, right? But if you say this is how I feel, and you have somebody acting like they don't care, they're blaming somebody else, and oh, you don't care how I feel. Because when you accuse somebody of what they're doing, what do? They get defensive, right? And that's really not the problem, because what somebody else does may not bother somebody else. It may bother me that my coworker calls me stupid, but it may not bother someone else. And so does it really matter what they're doing? No, it matters how I feel. And if there's somebody that cares about me at all, and I just say, hey, that feels bad, they're going to stop. They're going to say, what? Oh, when I do, okay, I'll try to stop doing that. Anything else, they don't care, Emily. And if you don't have a committed relationship with someone, don't expect them to care. Okay? You have a group of people that you work with, go to school with, don't know very well, and they bully you. Just get away from them, because you're not going to change them. You're not going to get them to understand. They don't feel good about it, trust me. They don't know who the hell they are. And if they tell me, if they sit there and say, oh, I know myself, I value respect and loyalty and all these things, then why are you treating Emily like this? Well, because, we all kind of were. And this, they're not going to feel good. They don't know who they are. It doesn't feel good. And just accept it, Emily. Just accept that there's people that don't know themselves, that don't know what they're doing. They aren't aware that how bad it makes you feel, and they're dealing with their own inner stuff, okay? And I'm going to get into the ego here in a sec. Oh, I did. I already got to the ego. So, and back to the ego. something I didn't help you guys understand about the ego. Your ego is when someone calls you a bad name, says you're stupid, and you get all, that's your ego. Your ego is, no, I'm not stupid, you're stupid. That's your ego. Me going home and telling my friend, God, you call me fucking stupid. That's your ego. You wanting to get them back and go get them fired from work and this, that, that's your ego. You can feel it. You judging people, ego. Acceptance. Let someone call you stupid and sit there and smile and just feel your ego and say thank you. Stop investing in your ego. You also asked me before, Emily, I'm sorry. You also asked me, you're describing something about alter ego. Is something I was speaking about last week that you asked me about, you didn't really understand. Alter egos can be very fun and healthy. It helps you be more in touch with your ego. Saying, this isn't who I am, but I have fun being this. I want to try it out. Children do it all the time. Right? If I'm all pumped out and got a mohawk and earrings, all this, and then next week I come all preppy with the eyes on my collar up and all, I'm all preppy now. Is that who I am today? Alter ego. I'm going to try this, see if I like it. Right? But as we become adults, it's a great release. The example I used is I sit in the office all day. I'm an accountant. I got to wear my tie and yes, and do numbers all day. And then I got to go home and I got to play dad to my children at night. And I got baby vomit on me and I wear rags and I just never get to really just have fun and be someone else I want to be. Well, then I go buy a Harley Davidson and I put on my leathers and I put on my jacket that says I'm in a biker gang for, on Sundays from 2 to 5. And I get to just be somebody else. And it's fun and it's healthy. It can be, until we start making life decisions and choices as that ego. That's what I said, right? So the person I really am is the accountant and the father and the husband, right? And that's what I really value. And so I'm going to answer and act, and decisions and choices will show that. But now, hey, I'm a biker on Sunday, but say Monday, you ask me to take care of the baby again and stuff, and I say, you know what, screw this. Bikers don't take care of kids. I'm going to be at the bar all day. Right? You kind of, your alter ego's kind of taken over. What do I think about the Myers-Briggs personality test? I think it's interesting. It's a lot more accurate than your star sign. I think it's really interesting. Companies use it. I knew someone that administered the Myers-Briggs test to people in companies to help better suit them to the job that they're better at. Pretty amazing. Myers-Briggs comes up with 4 different personality types you could be. Really interesting. For those of you who are interested and want to know, I'm an INFJ. It's the most rare. A lot of weird, crazy people are INFJs. I find other INFJs very interesting. Find out what yours is. More self-awareness. Why not? It's fun. Rose says, hope you can answer. I think he is. So this question, I'm not really sure what you're asking me, but I'm going to read it. Hope you can answer. I think he is covert narcissistic. I've been with him 10 years. So I've seen many masks slipping. It's like this is a different, very angry in his eyes. Also, is it a trait? Is what a trait? Anger? Eyes? He repeats, has routine, works endlessly, and I think hates going away for holidays. Avoids it. And is bad memory. Also an issue with this. Yeah, Rose, these are too general. I could come up with 100 disorders that have problems with anger and avoiding people on holidays. I mean, all 10 personality disorders to start with. Yeah. I don't know what you're asking me, Rose. Can you please ask me more? I said I'm not clear what you're asking me. But my best advice, Rose, is to go to a professional and talk about this and have people with different perceptions that are knowledgeable in this, that know what to do, that know how to help you, and can give you many suggestions and hold your hand and give you support on making the right choices for yourself, Rose. Because there's nothing you can do about this person, right? Can't change them, can't fix them, can't help them. And people like this, it wears on you. That's why you're here. That's why you're asking questions, okay? So Rose, fix how you feel. That's what you have control over, okay? If this relationship is stressful, fix it. If you can't fix it, end it. If you can't do that, hire help, okay? Learn everything about this relationship, your experiences, meaning learn everything about you. I can tell. I may not understand your question, but I can definitely see that you need some help, Rose, like all of us do sometimes in our life. And now is your time. And your self-worth will decide if you do that. And you will decide your self-worth by your choice, the decision you make to do this. Okay? This isn't about this person, Rose. It's entirely about you. That's it, guys. Thank you for your great, fantastic questions, your support, your comments, the things that you add and share, and I really appreciate all of your time. Thank you. I make these videos to hopefully add some help and support to you guys and hopefully to others. The work I put into this every week, you guys can really help me by just pushing a couple buttons. I have about 10% of you that watch these videos that are subscribed to me. 10%, that's really bad. That's really bad. And it's the same. I know who's subscribed to me and who isn't. And I get questions every week by people who aren't even subscribed to me. It's okay. But I devote so much of my time and energy into this. It would be really nice for those of you who benefit from this to help me, help others. Vote, subscribe, comment, share. Okay? Don't forget, love yourself first, always. Always you come first, okay? Thank you all. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.